march through the zoo. This zoo is a mess to the max. It's going to take me a lot of work, but I'll see what I can do. And with that, beautiful Beulah marched off to work. Beautiful Beulah marched over to the lion's cage. King of the beast, my foot. Why would this wild lion mane usually be called king of the mop tops? Now Beulah reached into her bag and pulled out a ginormous pair of bright yellow clippers. She washed the lion's mane and then she trimmed him with style. The gorilla was in no mood for beauty. Easy, big guy. What you need is a little sprucing up. Large Larry was lumbering through the zoo in Beulah. Hold it right there, long nose. What you need is a brand new bow just for show. Here's how they do it. They get a big fake smile that shows all their teeth. Perfect. They wave at the crowd like they're all best friends. They put their hand on their tummy and they bow. And then they grin and wave and bow and grin and wave and bow until they quit clapping. Let's hear it for our record! Thank you for being a great actor. Thank you for being a great actor. And thank you for being a great actor. No, you can please go down to your seats. One more round of applause for the actors. Keep your eyes closed. The author zone. This is your chance to be amazing. Stay focused and find your idea. On a Sunday morning, I went to this gigantic reptile shop with scaly lizards. My dad and I went into the gigantic reptile shop. We looked around. I saw the one that looked amazing. My dad and I bought that lizard, then bought slimy worms. Where were you when this happened?
I think I was 7.
Okay. What kind of 7-year-old were you? How would you describe yourself on this day going to the lizard shop?
After my soccer game.
You have to lighten up. Your teacher asks you to revise, it's because you'll sound smarter, not because you have more work. And they want you to recopy it so it's easy to read, not so you have more work. They want the best parts of life for you. Don't argue or complain when they want good things for you. Get up here, Davin. I was a short 7-year-old on that Sunday morning in November, right after my soccer game. I had an idea to get a pet. I'd wanted a pet for a pretty long time. My tall dad, Bruce, took me to a gigantic reptile shop in Denver. It had lots of scaly lizards. We rushed through the front door, and the first lizard I saw was a neon green lizard. I'll tell you a time when you've been in the zone so you know what it feels like. You're playing a video game and your mom or dad come in the room and talk to you. You don't even know they're there because you're so zoned in on the game. You're at gymnastics or dance class and your mom shows up to pick you up and you go, "It's over already?" Because you were in a zone. So at the end of a school day, if you go, "That was the longest day of my life," you probably didn't get in any learning zones. But if you went, "Wow, I can't believe the day's over," you got in lots of learning zones. So today we're getting in the author zone. You will close your eyes and you'll think about that moment in your life that you could write a narrative about. Then you'll start thinking of those heartbeats that are just yours with your author's voice you're going to put in your writing. Then you will think of the very first sentence. So when you open your eyes, you already know the first sentence. Don't say one day, say it was a frosty Friday morning in December. Give them details and information in the very first sentence, and then that gives you something to hook it into with the very last sentence. All right? So everybody close your eyes. You, close your eyes, dude, are now entering the author zone. This is your chance to be amazing. Once you find your moment, start thinking of words that are going to give it your personality. Just you don't know how to spell words, you don't even slow down, you just guess and keep going. All right, everybody, let's start to write. Right now. On my bike as fast as a cheetah, zoom, I was zipping down the street. Then it happened. My brakes stopped working. How old were you when this happened? What kind of 10-year-old were you? How would you describe yourself as a 10-year-old on this day? Do you know what I mean by that? I was an energetic 10-year-old. I was a excited 10-year-old. I was a shy 10-year-old. I don't know. However you would describe yourself on this day. Tall or short or I don't know. That's what I just barely said. So be sure it's coming from you, not from me. All right? So how would you describe yourself? Warm Wednesday afternoon in what month? What word could you use instead of leaving the house? What word instead of went would sound good, how you went out of the house? Give it a little more. Front or back door? Could he ever hand that in for a final copy? No. No. He has to recopy the whole thing. But remember I said lighten up on the recopying business? Yeah. This is what revising looks like. If your paper never looks like this, please do not tell your teacher you revised. You might have checked your spelling or looked at your punctuation. This is what revisions look like. They're sloppy. I always say you write a sloppy copy, then write a sloppier copy. Get up here, Micah. Let's read this thing. I was a clumsy 10-year-old on that warm Wednesday afternoon in February. I sprinted out the front door of our house, my dark chocolate brown eyes fixed on my teal blue Trek bike that was leaning against the garage door. I hopped on my bike as fast as a shark in the water after prey. Zoom, I was zipping down West Layton Avenue through the neighborhood. Is this starting to sound more exciting the first and second time? Yeah. Is he starting to sound smarter the second time? Yeah. Yeah, nicely done, Micah. So when you hear the thunderous applause, I want you to take a grand bow. You got it? Take your hands out of your pocket. You ready? Thunderous applause.
All right, everybody look up here so I can see your eyes.
Thank you for being a great actor. Thank you for being a great sport. And thank you for your acting skills today. One more round of applause for the actor.
I was at open gymnastics session. I was currently working on getting my back handsprings on the trampoline. So I asked for an acquaintance to help me learn to do that skill correctly. I was nervous the second I stepped onto the tramp to try a new skill with the person I asked to acquaintance me, questioned me what I could do. I answered, then she goes on and tells about being in gymnastics competitively and stuff. Perfect. All right. I will just ask you a few questions and you just tell me the answers. That's revising. All right? What day of the week that's happening on, do you think?
Which part?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Afternoon or morning or night? What was the weather like? What's the name of the gym? Jet? What city's that in? That moment, on that gloomy Saturday night in August at Jet Gym in Littleton, Colorado, when I asked for a spot from my coach Lizzie, forever changed my life. Lizzie is a short 29-year-old woman with dirty blonde hair. I was at open gymnastics session and I was currently working on doing my back handspring, which I had never stuck before in my life. I asked for help. When I got on that rough rectangular shaped trampoline and stepped on that Black Widow black mat, as far as she's got. I haven't read it very well, but didn't it sound like it was more interesting the second time? Yeah. Actually, no. Now you're going to hear thunderous applause when you hear the applause. All right, did you guys see how easy that was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what happens. When you write, you'll see something like the trampoline. So in her mind, she pictured a rough rectangular shaped trampoline. And then she didn't write it. You know why she didn't write it? Because it was so obvious to her. But can the reader read your mind? No, all they can read are your words. So what you have to do is things that are real obvious to you are not obvious to the reader. So you have to overwrite just a little bit to include the reader in the inner circle of your mind. Blonde hair submerged in the water when I jumped in. Then I realized I couldn't get up. When I realized that, a hand reached out and pulled me up. Turns out it was my swim coach, Nick, who had a humongous dark brown afro. The murky blue water of Red Rocks at Red Rocks Country Club taunted me as my annoying older sister Gwenna urged me to go in. I was only a nervous 5-year-old when this life-changing event happened. That event is when I learned how to swim. Does it sound smarter the second time? Very, very good work, Athena. Now, if you go by a defender, what was that defender's name? And was he a slow, tall kid, or was he a fast, whatever? Just add more details, all right? It'll look sloppier, but don't worry about it. It will sound smarter. That's what we want.